Hi everybody, I'm Tony.
And I'm Sean. Welcome to our ranch adventures.
And this is Bella. On today's episode, we are going to be laying our luxury vinyl plank tiles.
Or LVP for short.
All right, let's get started. Sean, did you get just a super great deal just now?
Yeah, I got some air miles on my credit card. He gave us a discount because I was a good-looking fat guy.
Fingers crossed. I think it's kind of perfect.
So for this flooring project, I ordered on Amazon a few tools to help speed up the process, hopefully. The first one is this vinyl flooring cutter. It's pretty simple. You just stick the tile in there. You pull this, it gives you a straight cut. The thing I got was a professional heavy flooring tool kit. And it came with these spacers. So you've got two different size spacers you can use. Now when I've done flooring before in the past, you used to get these little flat black things. The bad things about those is those would shove underneath the sheetrock. They wouldn't really hold it in there real well. These will go in there, they set against the wall, and they won't tip over or tip back and let you slip. So these are a nice improvement. The other thing that's new is this tapping block. It's got a handle on it and it just slides. It won't hurt your tile by sliding on it or anything, but you just tap it in with this block. It also came with a little hammer. One of the most heavy duty drawbars that I have ever seen in my life. Look at the welds on that sucker. I have never seen a drawbar, and the ones before that I purchased, they used to bend on me all the time, so I don't think this one's gonna bend on me.
So if you're new to our channel, our cabin that we're building is on a pier and beam. So the floors that we have are all plywood. Come down here with me. The first step in doing our flooring project is going to be to prep the flooring. So you can see, because we're working with natural products such as wood, you're going to have natural flaws. So here you have a knot. Here you have where the wood didn't line up together. If you want to come down here and see the difference in the flooring here, you can see we're going to have to put some floor patch on here to kind of level this out and get started. Additionally, we have the nails, and then we added screws. Some of the screws didn't go all the way down, so we got to go make sure everything is flush. So that's our first step. We're going to go ahead and get this floor prepped and ready, and then we'll start with the flooring.
Okay, so the first thing we did is we cleaned an area that we're going to start on laying the flooring. The next thing we need to do is we need to level a few spots where there's some transitions on the plywood. We're using the Speed Finish product. Patching and finishing compound, it's 2-to-1. So it's 2 parts powder to 1 part water. And we're just going to put this in any areas that have more level changes than others, and any holes that may be in the wood in preparation.
Right, and we got this stuff because it's quick drying. It's supposed to dry within 15 minutes.
Correct. Now it does say that you're supposed to wear a mask with this powder. Not necessarily the right mask, but it's what I got right now. So we're going to get 2 parts powder. And then we're going to do a 1/4 cup of water.
You can mix it with the drill, but we're doing such a small quantity that we're just going to do it by hand. And when you mix it with the drill, it supposedly dries a lot faster. And since we're wanting it not to dry quite as fast in the beginning, we're just doing it by hand. You just want to make sure that all the clumps are out. So it goes on kind of like drywall mud, which Sean is a pro at. That's drying super fast. Granted, we have a fan going, but that's because it's 100 degrees outside.
Alrighty, so we put the floor patchy stuffy on the flooring. I was a poet and did not know it. Sorry. We put the floor patch stuff on the floor. It covered up the little ridge or the lip that was there where the plywood joined. Sometimes if you get too much or you can feel it and you've got a lip on the edge, you have to go back and sand it. I think we're good on these, so we are going to start putting the tiles down. This is like a tongue and groove lock. So this side right here will lock with this side here. And we are using these 1/4 inch spacers because it's supposed to be a 1/4 inch from the wall. We're going to use 2 of these to get started on each side of the board here. I'm just going to kind of eyeball that into place. Use the 1/4 inch side there. Same here, and these are nice because they're going to hold it nice and secure. All right, now we're going to start running along the wall like this, and then after we get a few rows out, we're going to check it for square to the room, but we're just going to keep moving forward. Now, another thing to point out is right now I have 3 boxes open. You want to mix up the boxes and not be pulling from the box, or you could end up with a pattern. The other thing you want to do, you want to look at the planks and make sure that you're not putting identical planks right next to each other, because these are basically printed, so they're mass produced. So there's going to be multiples in here that are identical. You want to try to avoid having those next to each other if you can. So we ran into a hiccup right off the bat, and this door is not even with the wall. So in order to not have this 1/2 inch gap here, we're going to have to cut these planks back a 1/2 inch so that will slide in there. So on both sides of the door, all those boards are going to have to be cut a 1/2 inch, and that way we won't have this big ugly gap to worry about on the tiles. So I'm going to go get the table saw set up. That'll make ripping these planks evenly and uniformly pretty quick and easy. Even though the quick cutter I got will do that, it's just multiple cuts. It'll be a lot easier on the table saw, and I'll be able to hold better accuracy on the table saw. So while I'm getting the table saw set up, Tony is going to start marking planks so that we can get ready to cut.
So we want to center this plank here in the middle of the door like it is. This one that goes in front of the door, I'll mark here and then here. So we'll know where to bring it in for that extra 1/2 inch and then cut out a little cutout. Whoops. Well, shoot.
How's that?
Bueno, bueno. Look at that. That looks good. Good job, baby.
We've got a little bit done here. We're a little slower than what we thought we would be because I'm fat, old, and my knees hurt, and we ran into a couple of little things that we had to go back and kind of redo or manipulate. But we are very happy with the way it's looking. We think it looks really good.
I love it.
And so...
Yeah, so only like 20,000 more hours to go.
Yeah. We did find our groove, though, finally, where we can start really laying some down. But I don't know if we're going to lay any more tonight or if we're going to... Are we going to lay any more tonight?
I don't know. We'll see.
We might lay some more tonight. I don't know.
Okay. All right, so we are starting this morning off by putting some more floor patch onto the floor. So you can see here, this is a pretty big knot, and then this is just a defect in the plywood. So we're trying to mix just a little bit at a time so we don't overdo. I'm just gonna put some in there, and then it's just filling in those gaps and scraping it off. Doesn't have to be perfect. But you want to scrape off all the excess that you can. All right, so we're to the point where it gets a little bit tricky. So we need to measure the cutout for the bookshelf, and then it's gonna get even trickier when we get down to the fireplace. So we're gonna start here and measure. And this part's just easy. We're gonna mark right here at the edge. That looks good. And then from this point, we need to measure what we have here. T-square. And then we'll measure it out and cut it this way, and then Sean will work his magic with his little sawzall and the table saw. So let's do this one. All right, so you can see we have our mark right here. So Sean is going to, sorry, it's not a sawzall, it's a multi-tool. So we'll get that cut. All right, now we'll see if our measurements are right. So this is how you tell if your walls are straight. The gap here, no gap.
So
that's all right. So that's where the quarter round comes in, he says. We're all good.
All right, so we're trying to cut out the hole where the dryer vent goes here. And I'm just kind of eyeballing. It doesn't have to be perfect because there's this flange right here. So what I've done is I've marked the center line approximately of this dryer vent and also put a mark of where the edge of this should be. So when I marked that edge, I had it slid in here, so I estimated it about there. So that should be about the center line. So now I need to take, I've got a lid that I'm going to use. I'm just going to kind of line that up and try to make the cut or draw out my template where I need to cut and go from there. So we're going to bring it over to a flat surface. And I'm just going to I know that this is as far back as it needs to go. I'm just going to bring that over. There's my center line. And then the lid that we were using is this piece here. And if I find the center of this, the center is about 2 1/4 inches. So roughly right there. I'm just going to line that mark up. And that should roughly be what I need to take off. All right, let's go see how bad I missed this.
Nice job. So we are getting near the end. So we're getting ready to put our last piece in.
Well, almost the last piece. We still have to cope in front of the fireplace.
So one of the things we wanted to show you is that whenever you're getting to an edge and you need to measure, you just flip the piece backwards and take that measurement and then go and do your cut.
So I'm going to go cut this piece off right here on our handy dandy little tile cutter, which makes life so much easier from running in and out of the house to use a saw. Doesn't make a mess. There's just a blade right there. Boom. That's all there is to it. Now this is a little narrower than what we would like to end with, but I'm not ripping up this floor to do it differently. So that's what we got.
Yay!
Done. So let me show you what we have left. Everything is done except for this area in front of the fireplace. And that's because I need to cope out around all the stones. So what we're gonna do is probably pick up a compass at the store tomorrow. And I'll use that as a guide against the rocks so that we can get the contour of the rocks and trace it onto the board and then put it in there. It should match pretty close, and then we'll have a real thin either caulk or grout line on there. So that's the last thing we have to do besides all the trim boards and quarter round and stuff like that. So
turned out
yay.
really awesome. It'll look even better once I clean it. That's so nice. So there we go. It is midnight and we are calling it quits. We'll see you in the morning. We ran out of time, so we decided we will wait to do in front of the fireplace for another weekend. But we hope you found this content useful. If you did,
please smash that like button and subscribe. It helps us out a ton. And as always, go have an adventure of your own.
thanks for watching.
Bye-bye.